Hello. For our application or applying what we have learned in the story, The Gigantic Turnip, we are going to look at the stages or life cycle of the turnip. And I've got a sheet here. And so I am going to cut out the pieces of the turnip stages. And think about why I'm cutting out these pieces. When a plant starts out, what stage does the plant start out at? I am remembering to cut on the lines so that when we put our pieces together, they are neater. Does anybody remember why we are cutting out? What does gigantic mean, since our story was about the gigantic turnip? What does the word gigantic mean? This is a little bit of review from our word work practice. Did you remember that gigantic means something very large? If you did, you have a great memory and you've been listening to the stories and the video. I've got two last pieces to cut out here, and then we're going to work on putting the life cycle of the turnip together. Have you been all thinking about what stage the life cycle of the turnip is going to start out at? All right, so I've got 4 pieces of the stage of my turnip. Who can tell me which stage happens first? Which piece am I going to glue on? What was the beginning? Did you say the seed? If you said the seed, you were right. And so I glued on my seed. That is the very beginning stage of the turnip. Now I have 3 more pieces left, and I'm going to show you one more time what they look like. Who can tell me which stage is next or comes second in the life cycle of the turnip? Did you say the sprouting or the seedling starting to take place? If you did, you were right. So we start as a seed, then it becomes a seedling. The roots grow down under the ground, and the stem starts to sprout out. We've got 2 last pieces. Which one do you think happens next or third in our life cycle stage of the turnip? Did you say the plant of the turnip? If you said the plant of the turnip, you're right. Now we see the turnip, the root that was actually underground. We have the stems and the leaves that come out above the ground. So what is the final or the very last stage of our turnip? Did you say the decay or the turnip dies? If you remembered that the very last stage is the turnip dying, remember, if we don't pick it and it becomes dead or decays, it goes back into the ground, and the nutrients are what are used when we start the life cycle all over again with the seed. So our turnip life cycle, it starts out as a seed, then the seed sprouts, the roots go underground, the seedling comes up above the ground. We come down to our plant where we pick it. We can eat this healthy plant. If we do not pick the plant, then the turnip decays or dies and goes back down into the ground, and the whole process starts over again. Thank you for joining me for the application part of the gigantic turnip, learning more about the science of a plant in the life cycle that happens.